Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and I have to say that right now because you may not believe it given the sudden change in my physical appearance. I got my hair cut, and I was originally going to make the video a lot more about that because, it's a whole big thing. I said I'd be free after the movie was done if I was able to do that, but given what's happening in the world, and especially today in Minnesota, and there's a lot of times where I feel like there is no good way to go, haha, let me promote this thing in the face of ignoring all the other shit that's going on in the world. So what I would like to do is actually talk about the other component that we were going to do for the movie, which is a blood drive. And if you don't know what a blood drive is, that is a blood donation campaign. It is not a truck that drives blood. Well, actually, that is a part of it because there are trucks that will take your blood. There's trucks that park in a parking lot, and it has chairs in there and cookies and juice, and they'll trade you all of those except the chairs for blood. Your blood, hopefully. I am very bad at pitching this. If you want more accurate, true information, then you can go to ironlung.com/blood and you can learn more about the blood donation process. You can even see a map of where we will have blood donation trucks on the 30th at your local movie theaters. You might notice that this map is nowhere nearly as filled as the other map on the main page because this one, also, we do have showings in Europe, but that's not the main focus of this right now. I want to talk about the blood drive first and foremost. You will notice that we do not have as many locations here as we do have theaters on that map. And it is right now US only and one in... Where the hell? There's one in the... Sorry. There's one in the... I don't think that's in the right place. I don't think that's quite right. These have, I think that's supposed to be California, but I think the GPS location is way off. They have windows and times that they're there. Some of them are on the 30th, some are on the 31st, some will be there on the 2nd, the 1st of February. And they have windows of times they're going to be there. But I don't want people to feel like they need to go into the middle of, what is this? It's that one lake that I don't know the name of. I only know Lake Erie because that's the one I was next to. It's a lake of some kind. I don't know. You don't need to go there. That's not the right location. You can go to any blood bank near you. If you want to try to organize this so that you can all donate on the same day, that's great. But right now it doesn't feel very good to be like, hey, I'm banging this drum, let's break a record so that it can tie into the movie. I think that the urgency of it is enough motivation alone because there is some urgency. There is a blood shortage that's happening right now. At least when I'm recording this, these are news articles that came out just like a day ago or 2 days ago. There is a severe blood shortage across the entirety of the country. And the urgency that people need blood is paramount. It is absolutely critical for some patients that are having severe blood loss that they get a blood transfusion immediately, or else the doctors can't do anything to treat any of the other things going wrong with that patient. They need the blood first and foremost just to stay alive long enough for them to be treated. That's why it's critical. I mean, if you've seen pretty much any medical show, they've talked about this at length, or they have had an episode about it. And so you can picture the urgency. And when there is a shortage, that literally means that there will be some patients that will not be able to get blood and who could have survived possibly with treatment if they had a transfusion, but they don't have that available. I think that it's vitally more important that we just try to do some good, because in times of crisis, or in any time where you feel like you can't contribute to the world or can't help in one way and you really want to, blood donation is sometimes the most direct way to do that. I've donated blood a lot in my past. I fell out of the habit when I came to LA, but I had donated enough before that to get my gallon pin. So if that also matters to you, there are achievements that you can get in physical tokens. Also, if you've always wanted to know your blood type, great opportunity to do that. They'll tell you. If you want more information on the eligibility, you can donate if you're under 18, but you have to be 16 with parental consent. There's various forms here. You'll need ID. It takes probably about an hour if you need to register. If you've already been registered before, if you're been to a blood bank before, you still need to do some paperwork, but it's less than if you just came in. And then the actual donation process takes about 15 minutes. If you're squeamish, just remember it's for a good cause, but if it's too much for you, don't worry about it. Go with a friend if you can. If you want to donate blood and then go see a movie afterwards, it could
could be iron lung, or it could be something a little less stressful, so that maybe if you're feeling lightheaded, you don't pass out there too. So that would be great. More information here. You can get FQ. You don't need to buy a ticket for it. And again, you do not need to drive to the locations here on the map where there are. This is if you are near one, you can find a blood donation truck that is part of the Iron Lung Blood Campaign. If you go to any blood bank in your area, you can also say you're part of the Iron Lung, or you can write on the bag to Markiplier and a little heart symbol or something like that. I don't think they'll let you take a selfie with it, but you could ask, I guess. Don't ask. Don't ask that. The reason that we don't have a ton of trucks here is just because there was not enough time to prepare. These are trained medical professionals who need to be at all these donation trucks. They need to travel. They need to be there, set up. That's why they have limited windows. That's why there's limited time. But donation centers and blood banks around you are usually open much more often, much more reliably. So please donate. There's a shortage right now, and it is some good you can do. Now, finally, circling back to what I was saying before, if you haven't heard, we are in Australia already, we're in New Zealand already, we're in Canada and the UK and Iceland, apparently. Well, that's part of Europe. So we are in Europe now. We're in several countries. You can go to ironlung.com and you can see where on the map. This is not all of the locations. We only got a list of 250 to add to the map, and I think there are 250 again more that need to be added, but we're not going to get them till Monday. So check with your local listings. We're not in every country in Europe, obviously, but we did our best, and it's a very complicated process, especially in other countries, but we managed it, and we got in some of them at least. Check back on Monday. There'll be more information about the other theaters that are in Europe, or check your local listings to see if it's going to be playing near you. Thank you everybody so much for watching. More information, ironlung.com. Link is in the description. There you can pre-sign your forms. You can find a donation center near you. You can look at all the requirements, and you can see if you meet them. And then if you wanted to this week, you could also contact your local blood donation centers, and you can see if you can help sooner, later, or if you're eligible to donate. So thank you. Again, ironlung.com/blood, or just ironlung.com. Thank you so much for listening and being willing to help out.